a Y2K quilt. Does anyone know what a Y2K quilt is? Anybody else besides Kathy?
I know it.
Okay, there are a couple of you know. It is a quilt, as you can see, and every piece of fabric came from somewhere else. There was a website, and the idea was to swap with everyone in the United States, or every state in the United States, and if you say Kansas, okay, so I sign up on the website under Kansas, because that's where I live, Kansas. And if you lived in Colorado or Mississippi or New Jersey, wherever, you would sign up on this website for that. And everybody would go in there and say, oh, I don't have Missouri. And you check out the website for Missouri. And then you would write them a letter and email them a letter and say, hey, I'm doing the Y2K quilt. I do not have anyone to swap with from Missouri. So they would send me an envelope that looked like this. And if you get that really flat, you can get 26 squares in there. And they're called squishies because you hear what they sound like? They're squishy. So that's what everybody would want, these squishies. This is how they would come. And there's 25 squares plus this state square. And this one happens to be from Oklahoma. And boy, you just get so excited and you think, oh my gosh, what did I got in the mail today? And there they would be. Oh my gosh, I've got 6 squishies today. Now I've got to make sure that I send my squishies to them. So it was just so darn much fun, and I would love to do it again. But as you can see, I decided that I wanted to make the squares out of the squishies just as they came. I didn't do anything to alter these squares. And they're all 3 inches. There are, I don't even remember now, because this was in 2000, because the Y2K is 2000. The idea was to swap in 99 and make your quilt in 2000. So that's what I did. And in so the 25 squares, except I put the state square in the middle of this 25, so I had all these squares left over. But every state is represented here, and several foreign countries. And there's more than one Kansas, because I had a great friend who died in 99, and she gave me a square. And Norma, you know who I'm talking about. And after all these years, when she died in 99, I still love the girl, and I still get emotional. But that was my friend Brenda Garrett, Norma's sister-in-law. Okay, so now, all of the letters that correspond to the squares in this quilt, I have in this book. So, and they did a newspaper article about me, and that's on the front of my book, of course, but every person who I traded with would send these letters to me. So I have all kinds of stories about people who sent me these squares, and there's several, like I said, foreign countries in there, and there's even some really funny letters. So, I'm not going to read this because they gave me 5 minutes, and I think I probably did. You never give somebody who chatters 5 minutes. Never. Because I could talk. Well, Kathy says she came to one of my programs and I talked for an hour. I'm not going to do that today, I promise. But there is my square from Alaska. Is from Chicken, Alaska. Population 4. So when I mentioned this before, there was a lady in the audience. She raised up her hand. She said, I've been to Chicken, Alaska. I said, you have? Population 4? She says, yeah, we went there. So anyway.
Small world.